Hi, it's me again with CorelDraw Tips and Tricks. I'm going to show you how to draw this kind of like a seamless pattern, and there's very many multiple ways you could do it. And we're just going to start with a triangle. And if you will hold down your control button, if you get a 3-point triangle, if you hold down your control button, it's perfect. I hit P to put it in the center of the page. Now I need to kind of know the center of this. And there's some nodes, so I'm going to take my 2-point line. There's always going to be the nodes on the middle of the line, and then I'm going to go to the edge. See, it says edge until I get to the node, and then I'm going to cross there. All I'm trying to do is get the center of that triangle. Now let's click off that and take another polygon. Because sometimes if you don't click off of it, you will make that first one the 6-sided one. And I'm going to hit P and put it in the center page and see what I'm talking about. I mean, it's not in the center compared to what Corel thinks it's in there. I'm going to set my nudge factor pretty little, like 0.25 of an inch. And I'm just going to nudge this guy down. We want this block equal in the center and equal on the sides. So if we click on it, we're almost there, but if we take it right here and put it to the top. Now what we can do is hold down the shift key while getting the 2-point, I need to get the 2-point line there. Hold down the shift key and it'll go from the inside out. Now there might be a mathematical way you can do it, but see, I'm not quite there. So it's still selected. I'm going to make it 88.4%. Let's go 88.2. Let's go 88.1. We're too much. So 88.15. And that's good enough for the video. You're not going to be able to see that. Well, let's just, while we're here, now that we're zoomed in, let's click it again and let's go 88.12. See that little bitty, so 88.11. Don't tell me it's going to be 88. See, 88 at 1 point. So I went 88.05, 88 point, okay, that's perfect. Now, what we can do, and we've already kind of drawn our other lines in our block, so I'm not going to delete them, or I am going to delete them, but I'm not going to delete all the lines. Whoop. Because I want that cube inside my box. Now, one way to make sure that we've taken the time to get it filled is I'm going to fill in these blocks, and you can see they're not leaking, so it works. Now what we can do, and since we're working in the center of the page, let's, I'm going to back up here, just have one. I'm going to take the interactive fill tool, and I'm going to come down and I'm going to put a little, you could play around with this in so many different ways. I'm going to leave it like that and see what happens. Now, to copy that over, Control D to duplicate it, double click on the rotation and hit there and rotate it 120 degrees. Control D. So that way your block, everything's equal and you've got the same look all the way around. Now I'm going to take the Smart Fill tool. Let's trying to figure out if I'm going to use a color or not. So I'm going to say no. I'm just going to go that. I'm going to go interactive fill tool. So we went from dark to light, but on this one we're going to go. We want some dark on this end, so I'm going to put. I always go all the way and go all the way to black, and we could do that and see it kind of gives you that look. Same thing here. Control D to duplicate it, move the rotation, and rotate it 120 degrees. Control D. Now it looks pretty cool. I'm going to take away the outline. a lot of times it will not take away all the outline. So what we can do now, and see that red still there, we've made our triangle almost 10 inches, so let's set our nudge factor on 10. And let's move the colors out of the way, and you can see I still got, and that's remnants of the Smart Fill tool. So I got rid of that. Now, I'm going to group this together, Control G. Now I'm going to make this number across something even, so I'm going to make it 5.43. So we're 5 across these tips. Let's change our nudge factor to 5. Control D and make a duplicate, move it over as many as you want. I'll do a couple more. Then group this together, Control D. Let's change our nudge factor to half that, 2.5. Okay, I didn't group them together. Let me back up here. I thought I grouped them together. No, I did not. Control G, Control D to duplicate. Since I backed up, it changed my, so I'm going 2.5. Mirror them, and then nudge it over and look at that. I mean, they're equal. Now, really the work's done. If we look, we have, I'm going to change this just to 4. My ratio is locked, so it's not going to change anything, but it's going to make my math easier. Now I can make my ratio or my nudge factor 4. I need to group this together, Control G, Control G, Control D to duplicate it and nudge it down. Now at this time you could try, mirroring it this way and you get this kind of like a sharp point. Then you could actually take this, Control D, nudge it down twice, Control D, Control D. I don't think it looks as good as my first one because I use colors, but it is pretty weird. And you can always go in and add up, let's zoom in here, because you're going to see that white line a little bit on some things, but you got it all selected. We can make black lines and really make it stand out. I'm seeing things like it from a distance. This right here looks like donuts. And then when you zoom in, it's not. So it kind of looks like this is going in a hole and this is coming out of the hole. So it's not, colors might be better. So I'm going to Control G to group it. And then you get some text. And we'll make our text smaller. You want to be able to see your text to do this next step. And I can't see it. So I'm going to go to Object Order Front of Page. And now I can see my text. Now select everything and intersect it. And by doing that, I made a pattern inside my text. Now I got off on that one, didn't have my text in the right spot, but that's pretty cool. Let's back up here. Let's just, one thing I've always liked about this, the intersect tool over the power clip, because you still have it in there. I mean, your pattern is still there. I'm just going to see what I did wrong with them. See, I had my text over there. So let's move it over a little bit. Let's make it red so we can see it. And see well, it's really hard to see, but my text is not in the whole thing. Well, I actually had one there. Wow. So I'm going to delete, I'm going to back up. My text was actually there. I don't know what that is. There's my text. Now I'm going to make my text red. Yellow might be better for you to see it. And then just get it and make sure, all the parts are in there. Grab everything and then intersect it. That looks pretty cool. Now, one other thing one more step. The reason I like this is because it's still there. Power clip goes away. So let's make our nudge factor 12. Let's intersect it, move it over. Now, why isn't that? Oh, it's so huge now. It's like, let's make our nudge factor 40. Intersect it, move that over, and you still got your outline. So if you wanted to take your outline and make your outline black and make it, let's move it down or over. Let's go to object and convert it to a curve, and that always makes your hairline come up. And let's make it a little thicker, a little bit thicker still. And now you have a total different look on the font. That's a pretty cool design. I still like this, but this, I might try to laser engrave this because it might, with 3D mode. Anyway, I hope that helped just a little bit, and thank you for watching.